Happy Friday. Welcome, everyone.
Yes.
Welcome to the IT Hour. Halfway through November.
How? I don't know, but I this means that this is the weekend for Thanksgiving prep. This is the weekend that I go into like full on turkey dad, mode for the rest of the month.
Wow. A month and a half left in the year, too. I mean, I know. I'm not ready for
No.
2025. Although Kelly, Tom, I know him.
Nice.
But yeah, I know, but I
Hi,
didn't I
Kelly.
didn't do the right buddy one. Tom, I know him. There, was that more sufficient, Kelly? Was that the right enthusiasm? I'm trying. I'm trying. I don't know if it's high pitched enough, but that's probably yes, thank you. You're welcome. I tried.
I am very excited for Elf to come back into the city because we have an Alamo here in DC that's like, I don't know, a mile from our house. And they've already put Elf on the weekend calendar so that you can go to there's a movie watch party, which will have various and sundry, pranks and props and stuff. And of course you're invited. It's not a silent movie. So like you're invited to like participate, which is a lot of fun. And we've done those a couple of times. So I think we're probably going to do the Elf holiday party when that comes. I think that's out in the first week of December.
Ooh, do you sing along?
Um, no, I save my singing for choir and the shower. But I do have a choir concert looking up again. I'm really looking forward to it. This is my first season back singing in 15 years. And so December 8th for all of those folks in DC, the choir I sing with will be up at National Pres. You can buy tickets at choralis.org. CHORALIS.org. That
So what
really helps
kind
for
of
all of those people that aren't in DC though. So
yeah. But what type of songs do you do? Traditional?
very traditional Christmas, choral music, and there's going to be a brass quintet. We've got a couple of things that are pretty exciting. We've got I'm trying to think all of the things that are on there. The Bogorodica Dievo from Rachmaninoff's All Night Vigil is probably the centerpiece because that's a 8-part choir, all a cappella, all deep, rich Russian, lush Christmas music. So I'm psyched for that. We're doing a couple of modern pieces. We're doing a couple of things with the brass that I'm really excited about. Trevor Maynor is a fantastic arranger of Christmas carols, and he has a couple on the program. There is trying to think a couple of the other pieces, a couple of traditional carols, obviously, and of course there's sing along. So come and sing. But yeah, some good stuff.
Any Hallelujah chorus? I mean, that
No
is one of my
hallelujah chorus.
favorite choir things.
It is, and I'm gonna probably go see. I'm gonna probably go do the sing along that they do. There's a sing along at the Kennedy Center for the Messiah, and so
Nice.
they do the Christmas half of the Messiah because obviously it's an Easter piece, right? Like so, but there's the Christmas half and there's the Easter half, and so I'll go and do that down at Kennedy Center, and it'll be a good time. So I gotta go look and see if tickets are on sale.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but I still I guess it's technically Easter, but I still like hearing it at Christmas. There was one time when I was a teenager that uh when I went to church as a teenager that we had a choir from Jamaica come,
Oh
and
wow!
they did it and they blew the doors off. I mean, like blow you to the back of the room, and it was amazing. Like I always love a good choir. My brother-in-law did a choir in San Diego, and they did Carmina Burana, and that was
Oh
amazing.
man, I was going to say everybody knows it for O Fortuna, which is the big, the piece that gets used in all of the conflict pieces and all of the big set pieces.
Mhm.
But there is a lot of excellent music in the rest of Orff's Carmina Burana that is just tremendous. So yeah, I was going to say lots of good stuff there. Of course, if you really want one that's like big and bombastic, Sir William Walton's Belshazzar's Feast requires a double band as well as an orchestra as well as the choir. So that's a big, big shiny piece of music as well, but not Christmassy. So.
Yeah, true. But okay, enough music nerdery.
No
for
such
now.
thing. No such thing.
Yeah, I know, right? I was talking about musicals last night with some of my friends at our IT event. So, I'm not a huge musical nerd, but still I can appreciate it because we were talking about New York and Broadway and
Oh yeah. Yep. Sure.
all that. So, yeah, fun stuff. Oh, we're talking about Kelly's Avatar. So for those of you that rewatch this on YouTube, Kelly, one of our regulars, has a Princess Leia uh, avatar. And so they're talking about that in the comments and about Star Wars. So having a little bit of fun there. But anyway, welcome everyone. Happy Friday, IT Hour. We are glad to have our friend of the show, Tom, back with us. And well, where do you want to start, Tom? Do we want to just jump into the regular stuff and then talk about why we named
Let's
this
jump in.
the
Let's jump into
one?
the run up show, and then we'll come back to the rest of it.
Okay, we'll talk about
There's
why we
there's a
named
lot for us
this.
to. Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll
And
get there.
I'm guaranteeing you that some of the people already have figured it out. But let's go through the run of show, and then we can dive into that section in the middle.
All righty. Okay, so community news. You may have seen, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. You may have seen a post on the community. And when Alexa was on here at Halloween, we talked about this a little bit. We are having our first virtual conference called Jump Cloud Land. Very excited. This is going to be in January on the 28th. And registration is open. So please go register. It's free. It's a half day. We're going to have all kinds of great content. You're going to hear from our executives. You're going to hear from some customers. You can hear from our product folks. Going to be a lot going on. We would love to have you. We're actually going to have multiple tracks where you can learn, choose your adventure, whichever area you decide to that you want to learn about. We are going to have a track for our partners. So if you're a partner, you can do that, or you can do the product track, whichever one you want. So lots going on. We are excited. Go check out that link. Please go register. Again, it's free. So there's no reason for you not to do it. Hint, hint. Okay. And on top of that, I'm giving you an additional sneak peek because for those of you who've been around a while, you may remember back in 2022, we did customer awards and we're bringing those back. So as of Monday, we are going to open the Jumpies, as we like to affectionately call them, the Jump Cloud Customer Awards. Those are going to open on Monday. We're doing them a little bit differently this time. Instead of taking submissions on the community, we're going to use a Google form to make it a little simple, a little easier. But we're going to have 3 categories this time. Best use case, which is going to highlight customers that are using the product in a way that is transforming business in a mission critical manner. There's going to be scaling for success, which is for customers who have scaled their business using Jump Cloud. And then this new category is the Make Work Happen Champion. And this is for individuals that have gone above and beyond to make work happen at their organization. So you or your company can nominate a person at your company, or if you want to nominate someone at another company who has gone above and beyond and really is just one of those unsung heroes who really works hard to be the critical to the success of the IT team and organization, you can nominate them as well. We will post that form and have it available starting Monday, November 18th. It will be open all the way through December 20th. We want to give people plenty of time to post their nominations. You can enter 1 or 3, but you can just do 1 at a time to make it really clear as to which category you're entering. We will close those right before Christmas in the US, and then in early January, we will start the judging, and we will announce the winners at the conference on the 28th during the closing session. So
this is such a neat opportunity. And, so many different people implement Jump Cloud in so many different ways. And we want to hear about all of them, because I think that there's every organization that's out there has a different way of using Jump Cloud. This is a great way to showcase what you're proud of as an admin. And there are a lot of really great opportunities to say, oh, yeah, we're using Jump Cloud for this specific need, and we think this is super neat. That's a great way to kind of like shine a light on the work that you do, because here's the thing. In a lot of cases, when IT is operating correctly, it's invisible to your own environment. And, I was going to say the only time that folks really know you're there is when something's broken or wrong. And that's kind of a bummer, right? Like they're doing your job great. And, I was going to say makes you invisible. This is a great way to kind of show off that visibility layer, especially to your leadership chain, especially to, your environment, and to really kind of put a feather in your own cap for the hard work that you're doing, keeping everything just smooth and easy and good. So definitely take a moment, look at the thing in your environment that you're most proud of, and put an application. If you're thinking to yourself, oh, I couldn't possibly, friends, you can, and you should. And, I think that that's really important. Don't forget to sing when you win. Right? Like that's what the song says at the beginning of Welcome to Wrexham, right? Don't forget to sing when you win. And, I think that this is a place where you can put yourself in. It's okay to go and do this. In fact, you should.
Yes.
Because be proud of what you're doing. You earned it.
Yeah. If you don't think anyone else is going to put your nomination in, even for the champion, go ahead, do it yourself, sing your own praises. That is okay. Here, we encourage it. And then if you win, then blast that everywhere. We will be doing a press release when we announce the winners and everything. So that's another opportunity to showcase what you're doing and how you're doing it well. So by all means, there's going to be plenty of time. And by the way, if you need a little bit of help writing and submitting something, reach out. Let us know. We'll help you figure something out. In fact, reach out to your account manager, and they will help you do that, because it's in their interest to make sure that you are represented in the best light possible. So definitely do that. I will be posting the links on Monday in the community in Slack, and we'll be sharing that out, and we'll make sure that the sales reps share it. If you don't see something from them, then ask them to get you that link. I love some of these messages that we're seeing on here. I love that Nathan says, Jump Cloud's in my blood at this point. Nathan, you're definitely going to have to apply, because I do think you've got see if you can do it 2 in a row, right? Well, I mean, it's been 3 years, but still that would be like in a row, close enough. And then Jamie says, without Jump Cloud, we would not be in as good of a position as we are. I love that. Thank you for saying that, Jamie. And let's see what. Next is we have a new episode of the Make Work Happen podcast. As if you aren't sick enough of hearing from me. New episode of the podcast. We're talking about posture management essentials with Doug Cahill. And this is a 2-parter. We had so much to talk about that we could not fit it in one whole episode. So we split it in 2. We really are trying to keep these somewhat short, about 20-ish minutes. I think this one was 17. So we're trying to keep them short, easy to digest, and you'll hear the next one in a couple of weeks. Please share those with your execs. We really are trying to make those, executive friendly. And that is the episode. But if you go to jumpcloud.com/podcast, then that is where you can find all of the episodes. And we're only, let's see, that is episode 7, nowhere near as many episodes as Tom has on the Mac Admins podcast, but
we were realizing the other day that we're within striking distance of 400, and so we've got to plan something special for January or February when we get to episode 400, because that's wild, right? Like we're coming up on 9 years of the podcast in March. And I think that that's going to be a lot. So I was gonna say finding ways to do fun things. I mean, here's the thing, it's not important necessarily to, have longevity. It's important to have great concepts and great talk and great conversation. And that's one of the reasons I've really enjoyed so far the new Jump Cloud podcast is there's a lot of really good material in there, and it's in digestible formats. It's in a bite-sized interval. You're not listening to a whole 90 minutes of us going down the rabbit hole, talking about this, that, or the other on the Mac and Men's podcast. You're getting something that's a lot more focused, that's a lot more polished even. And, that's really, really positive. So
I love that y'all have been doing that long. I mean, that is amazing to do something
it's
that
wild.
consistently. That's incredible. Weekly too. I mean, every week for almost 9
But
years.
at first we were going to try and do it like once a month. And then we kind of got things rolling and got things accelerated. And then we were like, oh, we got it to bi-weekly. And then it was like every week. And then suddenly it was like, oh God, we're doing this every week now. And there's nothing we can do about it except keep going. The content machine it has to feed itself. And that gets to be a real challenge. So
It can. I mean, there have been weeks where it's like, oh no, what are we gonna do next?
oh no, there have definitely been a few of those. And there it's like, oh gosh, we gotta go find something to do. And fast.
Oh yeah, there have been weeks where it's like, it's Wednesday, and it's like, but we manage, and y'all do a great job. So, very well done. I will plug in my phone in my car, and it's just kind of a podcast roulette because it's just whatever has updated recently, and so it'll be a pleasant surprise when I hear James come on with whatever the sponsored update is, and I'm like, oh, there's James. Okay, it's Mac Admin's time. So
yes,
that's always nice. All right, and next up, let's talk about product releases. There's a lot coming up.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say there's a lot of really great product news, and I see Stuart asking a question that's related. So hang tight on that one, Stuart. I'm going to come back to you on that one in just a minute here. So there have been a couple of big releases here this week, stuff that we are really, really excited for. Obviously, we talked about the big release of the user conference. We think that's going to be a huge thing for everybody this week. And, I think that there is a lot for us to be excited about there. I did want to talk about the new devices list. And yes, Stuart, if you were seeing the admin portal hang a little bit during the week in the devices list, that may have been why. We have been hard at work here releasing the new devices list functionality here in Jump Cloud, and there's a lot of really great experiences here. And of course, Urvashi was at the core of execution of this, and everybody here knows Urvashi because she was part of the hosting crowd for this before. So it's really exciting the different kinds of filters that you get to bring to bear for this, getting to set your own columns from, I think it's up to 18 or 20 different columns that you can add to your environment. And then, picking in terms of like, hey, how do I organize this? How do I export all of this? Getting either just your current device view reported into a JSON object or a CSV file, or you can get the entire stack of device information. And so this is one of the, most commonly requested features here at Jump Cloud. Is like, hey, I just need to make the device list a little bit easier for me to use and help me do more reporting based on that devices list. And so we are really, really excited for this. The column customization is really just next level in a lot of ways. And, that really gives you a lot of ways to segment out your environment, specify, all right, just give me a list of all of the macOS systems. Just give me my Windows systems. Just give me those Linux servers that I manage too. And that's really, really exciting. There's a lot of great opportunities in the devices list to make this. Oh, and of course, everybody gets my happy laundry song because the dryer just finished. Sorry, everybody. But as we get all of this stuff, we're not done yet. And, one of the things that we discovered right away, Stuart, was that performance wasn't quite up to bear. And so we had to back out the release late yesterday, fix it overnight and get it directly back out. And so, that is apparently everybody has an LG or a Samsung washer or dryer in their place, because apparently I have confused everybody in the audience. That's amazing. But, as we look at this, this really strengthens your ability as admins to kind of go into the device list, make a report report that's useful to you and export it out to CSV so that you can turn that into an asset report, turn that into a list of systems that you need to mitigate in your help desk environment, upload that as a report that says, here are my systems that I'm concerned about, and go address them and use them as a checklist. So there's a lot of really great stuff that's there. I really encourage everybody to go read the post in the community and talk with Rob and Urvashi about this going forward, because there's a lot of great stuff here. And there is, a lot of good opportunities here. So I think that this is one of the things I've been most excited about as we've been working this year. So a lot of really, really great things here. Okay, that's the first piece of the product news. Other piece of the product news is one I'm super excited about. It's actually coming early next week. And you all saw Josh talking last week about Windows App Management and App Catalog. Guess what? That's coming to the product early next week. We're hoping that's going to complete in slow roll on Monday or Tuesday. And everybody's going to have access to these 10 key applications for Windows and being able to deploy them to your fleet, keep them up to date, allow your users to pick when they want to make sure that they can do that install so that it's at the right time of their day, up until the point where they've delayed it for more than a week, in which case, sorry, friend, you only have so long to do your job before. You can't say not now forever. That gives you the good opportunities that are available there. We're really excited to hear how everybody's using this. We're going to be watching this a lot. We've got a lot of data points that are going to be available to our internal teams so that we can watch this watch you explore this feature and figure out where the most key work is that needs to follow on. So there's a whole bunch of really awesome stuff that's coming down the pike early next week. Obviously, you're probably thinking to yourself, Tom, but I have more than just Windows systems. I need this on my Macs too. Yes, you do. We're working on that next year. Tom, I have more than 10 software titles. Surely there must be more coming in the pipeline. Yes, there are. And we intend to bring more titles to this feature as we go into 2025. We're not done for this year. We're hoping to spend part of December and January really accelerating the number of titles for Windows here and bringing those to bear so that we can really make a grand catalog for this, because every organization has a lot of really key parts to their software management environment, and keeping those systems up to date is the primary job that admins have these days, especially in the era of vulnerabilities, especially in the era of, getting to a lot of different, getting to a lot of different places out there. So, I think that as we focus on those things, Jump Cloud's really meant to be at the very, very forefront of all of this for our customers. And we want to make sure that you're able to manage and measure your fleet's compliance with your internal patching guidelines. So look for more information as this comes down the pike. We're really excited about the roadmap for this one, including for macOS, as we get into 2025. I think that covers our product news today. I think that's everything that we needed to cover, unless there is more that, I'm trying to think. I don't think we've got anything more product-wise today.
Anything around what product is planning for the user conference in particular?
There are a lot of great talks that are going to be coming out as part of that user conference. We've got a lot of hey, how should you think about these important topics? What are some of the tips and tricks that are associated with using, Jump Cloud in your environment? How do you build a good BYOD program, for example? We all have these devices in our environment, whether we want them or not. And our people are using them constantly because we can't get phones and tablets outside of, we need to work on these devices now. The requirements are such that we can't just, work on our laptops every day. We've got to, also we leave our desks once in a while, or so I'm told. I mean, the shackle on my leg has been, pretty uncomfortable for the last, no, I'm just kidding. But it can feel like that, right? Like we're really responsible for a lot of things and we want to be able to get out of the house. So building a great BYO program is all about protecting your data without compromising your users' privacy, without compromising your organization's need for tracking who has access to what and where. So these are the kind of things that we're going to be talking about at the user conference. We're also planning some advanced sessions on advanced topics and advanced, application of Jump Cloud to environments. So look forward to a lot of really great opportunities to learn from our product management team on how we think Jump Cloud is best used. Now, obviously, Jump Cloud is used in a myriad ways, but we think that there are some pretty good guide frames for you to look at. So as we go into there, a lot of great things. Suchathit asks a really good question. How about the Chocolatey? When will Jump Cloud discontinue its use? You might remember that in December of 2023, Greg Armanini and I came on a webinar, and we talked about that we were looking at deprecating Chocolatey, that we would have a plan that we would make public as part of this process to, when are we going to get rid of Chocolatey? The answer is when we're ready to get rid of Chocolatey. We don't think that the community repo version of Chocolatey provides enough utility for Jump Cloud's customers. Here's why. Not a lot of, explorability in terms of their public catalog. API limits on their public catalog that make it harder to use in larger institutions. And their flexibility as an install agent isn't as good as things like, say, Microsoft WinGet. And so as we think about the future, there will come a point at which we say, thank you, Chocolatey. It has been a delight working with you, but we're done now. We're going to give you plenty of notice when that time comes. We're not in any hurry to get rid of Chocolatey in our environment, but we think that we really want to invest in a great Jump Cloud-based solution that we can own, maintain, publish, and be clear with all of the system versions that of individual applications that we think are ready for your teams to deploy. And so look for us to talk a lot more about this during 2025. Don't worry, it's not going out in the first half. We're going to give you plenty of notice in case we need to get off of Chocolatey. But we obviously can't discontinue Chocolatey while our own coverage doesn't match. And so as we look at that, we are working on how we get there. Because we think that we owe it to you as Jump Cloud to make you a really great solution for application patch management. And that's what we're focused on building.
Very, very cool. And in the meantime, they're still talking about Samsung and LG laundry sounds and how to hack it, and maybe playing a metal song to definitely wake you up when it's time for your laundry to be done. Jump Cloud IT Hour with a side order of IoT hacks. I mean, we talked, Jamie, I don't, were you here during the Halloween show where we talked about how horribly wrong that can go? Be careful.
Not everything needs an internet connection is all I'm saying.
Yeah. It can go very, very well or very, very wrong. It even induced Tom to have a little bit of a whoopsie on on the show for the first time ever. Oh boy. I had to go back and take a screenshot of Tom when we were talking about, it was the I love you virus, I think. The look of horror when we were talking about that. So,
I think a lot of us had, shall we say, trauma blocked a lot of the original I love you virus, responses. And we had definitely blocked that out of our memory. And, I think that was definitely a reminder of all of the terrible things that computers can do, and that teaching Sand to do math may or may not have been a mistake.
Definitely. Oh, and back to what you were saying about the devices list. I will go back to Rob and Urvashi and see when they are planning on coming on the show and talking about devices, now that we're ready for prime time. Maybe, let's see, I've got one more slot before Christmas. So maybe in December or after the new year. We'll see. And James says, I would love to have the device list show who it's assigned to. Oh, James. All right, hang on. Hold on. Let's see. Where is it? Submit that feature request. Boom! Look below us,
Oh,
that little green button. There you go. There it is. Submit that feature request.
love to see it. So before I go, I want to talk about feature requests because as an end user, it can feel like, but Tom, I am speaking to the Oracle at Delphi. I do not know when I will get an answer to my feature request. Oh, friend, I feel you. That is the hardest part of the job here at JumpCloud, is going through and looking at all of the great feature requests that everybody is building. And it's honestly the most important part of any product manager's job, is to be able to go through and look at all the feedback that you've gotten and be able to crystallize that feedback into new features meant for the roadmap, meant for execution. And in a lot of cases, there are a lot of feature pieces that that don't get acted on right away. I hear you. If it was up to me and I had 1 million engineers, oh man, we would be churning through that feature request list like it was butter. But we have to make the hard decisions of what's the most important thing for our customers, what's the most important thing for JumpCloud's business, what's the most important thing for our product platform at large, and how do we get those things together? So it is really important to start from that perspective and say, this is what I want, this is why I want it, this is how I'd use it, and make that case. And you can feel like it falls on deaf ears. We try to make sure that when we get a feature request that's connected to something that we are building, that we close the gap between the two of us. And you may have people, PMs, reach out at JumpCloud. I reached out a lot to say, hey, why do you want this? Why you've asked for something that's really interesting to me, but why do you want it? So that we can turn that into action that comes along with that. Or we can try and figure out, hey, do we already have something that kind of does this, but maybe a little bit differently? And should we think about approaching that in a new and novel way? And so doing that roadmap triage as part of digging through the product information boards. And, here at JumpCloud, we've got a real responsibility to go through those boards, and we do. In fact, every PIM is what they're known as internally. Product idea management is the system that we used in Jira to do that. Every PIM gets a person. And we have a lot of automated systems that help us derive from your feature request, who's this for? Who needs to look at this? Who needs to make this part of their future? So there's a lot for those kind of things that's going on in the future. So look forward to that. I think that, and I see Jamie's doing an important request, making the feature request public for other JumpCloud customers to upvote. I would say no to that one, honestly. And I'll tell you why. And it's complicated, right? Like, this one's really hard, because you want to make sure that you're actually meeting the same. There's no reason that everybody can't file multiple duplicate feature requests. Totally fine. I love seeing those. Those are spectacular. When you start to make those systems public, they're prone to abuse, actually. And in a lot of cases, you can end up with a pylon for something that's really not really all that relevant. And so I would much rather hear in everybody's unique voice. I would rather get 20 different, slightly different feature requests from a bunch of people. And obviously we have places like the community and the customer lounge Slack and a bunch of other places that you can use to try and build support for your feature request. And so you almost have to product manage your own feature request by gathering input from different people within the community to kind of drive that forward.
I think where it could help is more if we curated a bunch of requests and then asked people to, hey, we have these, tell us which ones are your biggest, like biggest pet things that you would love to see. And I think if we made select ones public and let people comment and vote on them, that may be a better use than every single one of them public, because that can get chaotic and hard to manage. I've seen it work well and work not as great. So yeah, I think there are good and bad ways of doing it.
Yep, I think we're going to be focused a lot on, showing more. And if you haven't seen the Jump Cloud University course on our future roadmap, this is a great time to actually go and get logged into Jump Cloud University and see what we're looking at for what's left in this quarter. And then as we release plans about 2025, you're going to get a lot more detail in terms of what's there. So that's spectacular. So great.
All right. Are we ready to?
I think we have to be, friend.
Okay, what do you want to do first? Do you want me to pull up the slides, or do you want to talk through some of your?
I'll rip off the Band-Aid real quick. So
Okay.
This is my last month at Jump Cloud, and this is my last time on the IT Hour as a member of our product management team. I made the really hard decision to take a new opportunity elsewhere. And I'll be taking December off. And, I was going to say, Becky's going to go straight for the double thumbs down. I think that's appropriate. I hear you loud and clear. But, this has been a huge 3.5 years. I can't believe it's been that long. And I made the decision to come to Jump Cloud because of Jump Cloud's amazing leadership, and Raj and Greg and everybody here who, really made a pitch, and they were like, "Come make this great." And it was an opportunity that I saw a lot of myself in. And so I made the leap. I left my MSP. I left working with Kelly every day. I was going to say the great experience that has been Jump Cloud has been its people and folks here. And, this space, I was on the very first IT Hour back in 2021. I'm excited for new opportunities, but this place is special. And that made it hard to, make this choice. But I think I've made the right one. But we've got some things to talk through because there's been a lot that we I appreciate that, James, very much. The feature request, hire Tom back as a contractor. We will figure that out. But yeah.
So Tom and I started the same week. I started
Mhm.
2 days before he did. So yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
So lots of accomplishments though. Let's talk about that. You started as a principal product manager and you're leaving us as a director.
Mhm.
So that's pretty cool.
And it is. And, there's been a huge number of things that we've worked on together, and you and I, and, there's been a huge number of things that we've worked together with the community and, those kind of environments. And, there's a lot of the future tied up in, I've been really instrumental in a lot of different parts of Jump Cloud. And I'm stayed all the way through, to now and to the end of the month so that we could lock up the 2025 plan with all of the right things for next year. And so, I think that there is, a lot of really great opportunity in our roadmap. And so I don't want you to think that, the Tom Bridge effect is going to dissipate immediately. There's a lot of, really cool things that are coming in the future that I'm really excited about. Obviously had my hand in the first version of Patch here at Jump Cloud, focused on Apple environments, focused on Windows environments, and getting those things out the door. I think that the original version of iOS management was one of the first things that I got to work on here was, adapting our primarily Mac MDM towards our iOS space. And now we've gotten to kind of move that forward with, with Sergi Bellis at the front to get ourselves BYOD management in new and different ways. And so there are a lot of really great opportunities for us, here at Jump Cloud to go through all of those things. Spent a lot of times working on the keychain recovery features that are in Jump Cloud for our macOS. In fact, we've got a really big one coming out next month to everybody out there that's going to help save a lot more macOS keychains during password change. So we're really excited about the future that's built into Jump Cloud that's lined up behind a lot of the efforts that we've been doing. And of course, huge part of Jump Cloud Go is, of course, Scott Reed at the fore of that. But putting a lot of the focus into the agent and a lot into the browser plugin has been like, how do we actually drive that strategy of a managed user on a managed device is the right way to use Jump Cloud? and getting to that state where we can go forward. And then also being able to separate our device management environment from the directory, and being able to say we can federate to other identity providers. We can ingest content from Google or Okta or Microsoft and express those users out to individual devices without having to be necessarily at the front door. So there's a lot we built together here at JumpCloud, and that I've been part of, and it's been such an opportunity to be here. And one of the reasons that I came here was that I could see something different about JumpCloud. And, JumpCloud really has this approach that is unlike any other device manager, where they really care about who's on the device, and that user has extra stuff that associated with it. I mean, all of the detailed information that's in the directory, all of that information that's in those SSO connectors or in the conditional access policies that are out there. That's a huge advantage that JumpCloud has that nobody else does, especially on the Apple platforms. And, I say that as, now, of course, as director of product management, I have to be very, very, very clear that I have no favorite children, and that, I love Apple as much as I love Windows, as much as I love Linux, as much as I love Android and iOS. But, there have been so many things that we've gotten to build here that are different and more powerful than I could have built anywhere else. And, why do I do it? All of y'all. I mean, I've been in your shoes, and I'm going back to them, so to speak. I don't want to talk about what's next, because I want to give that time to breathe. I'm looking forward to giving my brain something to breathe. And, Brian, you ask a question, if JumpCloud's so great, why leave? It's a really hard decision, friend. I got an opportunity I could not say no to. This is something I'm really looking forward to, and it's an opportunity that doesn't present itself often. And I am really excited for that future. I'm excited, hopefully, to be a customer in my next life. And that's going to be something that, I'm going to be out there writing those same feature requests again and duping some of yours and making, opportunities like that. And I think that that's going to be a big part of the future. But, I think that there's been a lot that we've talked through, and, there's so much stuff that I've learned here. I've learned how to work at deeper levels inside the operating system. I've learned how to work with outside vendors like Android, like Google and Android, and Apple and their MDM teams. And those kind of opportunities I couldn't have had anywhere else.
And we do have a few boomerangs here. And what I mean by that is we have people that have left and come back. So we're not I'm hopeful that we don't completely close that door. So I understand what you're asking, Brian, but sometimes taking a break, and product management's intense. It's super intense and a difficult job. So I can understand taking a break from that for a little bit. And I'm excited to hear what's going to be next for Tom, and seeing what cool things he does and all of that stuff. So we're excited for Tom. We really are. But dang it, he's been such a great help on the IT Hour and in the community and all of that stuff that that part's going to be, I know we'll see him around. So Tom and I are on the Mac Admins Foundation board together. So it's not like he's going away completely. Those of you who are in that Slack, you will see him there. So I will still get to work with him in that capacity. I just won't get to work with him every day here at JumpCloud and ping him on this Slack and be like, hey, I need your help with this. I need somebody to answer this question. So, yeah.
So, yeah, I've got about a week and a half left. I'm on my Wednesday before Thanksgiving is my last day. And next week I'll be in with our product team, picking apart, making sure that we get the final plan done for 2025. And we'll be excited to talk about that in the future. And, locking all of those things down so that we get some really great things in our future. And I'm not ready to talk about what those things are yet, but I can tell you I'm very excited about them. And it's going to make me really sad not to be here when they're done. But I also know that, with Joel Rennick at the helm at product here, you've got someone who really deeply understands device management and our customer base, and has worked in some incredible places over his time in the private sector. I mean, at Apple, at Jamf, he's worked some, even in the startup life at Orchard and Grove. So I was going to say, you're in great hands with Joel. Obviously, the folks that I've worked with day in, day out, Suba, Pons, Lindsay, you've got some Sirhat, Piyush even, and all of those people at JumpCloud who are doing that kind of product management directorship work are people I would go to war with. And I was going to say that you just march lockstep with. So I think that there is there's a lot of really great people here pushing on all of the right levers for the future of JumpCloud. So I want everybody to know that JumpCloud has my full support going forward. But Ross makes an excellent point. Don't let Joel pick the swag. It'll be neon yellow. Yeah, it might be, but I think Day-Glo JumpCloud socks would be pretty rad. So I would wear them.
All right. Do I need to pull up the slides? Do we want to do
we could do the slides if you want.
The review?
These were fun slides that were created by Sergi, and he took me by complete surprise at the company meeting yesterday. The element of surprise was complete and total, and it totally wrecked me. I'm not going to lie. On the call yesterday, but I was gonna say, do you want to drive or shall I?
I've got it pulled up. I can.
Okay, dive in.
I can do it. I feel like we should be playing I Hope You Had the Time of Your Life or something like that.
Closing Time by Semisonic.
Yeah, something like that. All right, so yeah, we conspired to keep this a secret from Tom, but most of the credit goes to Serge. So we knew that this Cloud Hours, our internal, company meeting where we share stuff, we knew that it was probably going to be Tom's last one where he would be able to be in attendance. And since Sergey was hosting, he brought this up. Yeah, well, even our external decks say this, so
yes,
take it as you will. But Mr. Tom Bridge, some good photos here. Any of those you want to talk about a little bit?
Yeah, that's on the left. There is me and my wife and my son when he was much younger. I was gonna say he's 11 now, so I was gonna say in that one I think he's probably about 5 or 6. And then of course you get to see me in my tuxedo when I was out performing. So, and then on the deck at the Anthem here in DC.
I'm not sure where he even got some of these, but
that's a good. Well, I think the Anthem came from my Facebook someplace else like that.
Yeah,
very possibly.
All right, and the I love that as a product person, he put together a Tom roadmap. So this is great.
So. 3-phase roadmap that's the hallmark of a product manager. Is you got to have a 3-phase roadmap: now, next, and later. And so this is this is the version of a 3-phase roadmap for me. So.
Absolutely. So we've got his hobbies, his professional piece. I made sure we had the podcast and the foundation on there because those are important pieces of what you do. And I mean, this achievements in the middle there, that's not even, oh my goodness, that's not even close to everything. And I snuck in the time at JumpCloud because I loved how he had 1,310 days, 3 years, 6 months, 30 days. So that means mine is 1,312 days. Although that was as of yesterday. So I guess it's 13. But he has done a lot here, and we are so appreciative of everything you have accomplished. And you're gonna leave a big hole, but we're glad you're kind of hanging around for the next week and a half. but I know you'll be busy and in meetings, but that doesn't mean I'm still not going to sneakily slack you while you're in the midst of all those product meetings just to annoy you because I can.
Yep.
And he made the mistake long ago of giving me his mobile number, so definitely can't get rid of me. But here are some pictures that some teammates collected and snuck in the presentation for Tom of different get-togethers. That is at the that's at the all company meeting where we were having the food trucks, right?
Oh no, the one on the left there was
Yeah.
from that's at the Alpine Inn in the Bay Area.
Oh,
That
okay.
was there was one of the there are a bunch of Macadmins who were at the table behind, and this was just like a hey, let's get together, and you can see Greg Armanini there, and Michelle, who's our CFO, and a couple of other folks there. And then on the right, that is when I met Greg for the first time in California. I was out visiting, and Himanshu there was one of our PMs on the Windows side, and we got together at a brewery in Richmond, California. So yeah.
Very nice. That's
Oh, this is
definitely
ACM.
LC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is ACM. And here you can see Josh Rowland on the right, Joanna from our product marketing team, LT. Trevor Wyman is behind her, and me. I'm off towards the center in the back, and Scott Reed and Neeraj Kandalwal and Subha Sriram, and a bunch of other wonderful folks at JumpCloud who are no longer with us, but some really spectacular humans. That was a great time in Colorado. We got to get the whole company together.
Just not at JumpCloud. Let's be clear when he says no longer with us.
Yeah, no longer with us at JumpCloud. Right. They're still alive. We didn't kill them.
we aren't that harsh on our
They're
folks.
not
Okay,
dead.
now I pulled these together. So Ross and Kelly will recognize a couple of these on the left because those are from PSU. I grabbed those from this last July. The middle one is also from our all company meeting. The very first time that Tom and I got to meet each other in person. Funny story on the day we all got there and we had registration. I may have told this before, but somebody told me that Tom was there, and so I was going to jokingly run and like do this across the room, like run and then do like a bear hug or something. But right as I was running toward Tom, our CEO walked out of a side door, and I almost crashed into him and knocked him over because I was going for a full on run, and it was down a
Oh
long
yes.
Hallway at the hotel, and I had to come to a screeching halt. And I swear I was within inches of literally knocking him over. So yeah, that would have been great. Also, the first time I met our CEO in person. So what a great first impression. So and the one on the right is the screenshot I was talking about where Tom was hearing about the I love you virus, the effects of, on Jurgen, one of our colleagues. And so I couldn't resist trying to find that and put that in there. And then I think these were from Suba. So is that correct?
Yes. I was going to say those are from correct. The upper left was from one of our meetings in Denver. One in the center at the bottom is from also one of our meetings in Denver. And then the one on the right is when I presented at X World in Sydney, Australia. Or no, Melbourne, Australia. That was 2023, 22, something like that.
One of those? Yeah, I can't remember how long it's been since you were there. And, Serge had to put, of course, we love to sneak GIFs into our presentations here. And of course, well, Tom being a Ted Lasso fan,
Indeed.
it had to be Ted Lasso.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm sad that it didn't also say, let's invade France.
Yes.
Let's invade France, but that's all right. And then onward and forward. Yeah, indeed. Onward and forward, friend.
Yep. That's the one thing I take away from, that I say a lot is that you say it in victory, you say it in defeat. And because, that's really what it comes down to. We have to go onward and we have to go forward. We have to do it together. And when you're, it's really challenging to, I don't know. We've seen a lot lately that has, kind of led me saying, all right, onward, forward. And, those are the kind of things we have to do together. And, this is one thing is that, we talk a lot at Jump Cloud about our people, and we talk a lot about how we work together. And one of the things I really value about our approach has been, a lot of how we're one team. And in that way, that team also includes our customers. And we're there, working with folks all the time. And it's my favorite part of this job is everybody here. And I'm going to miss you all very, very much. Mm-hmm. And, I was going to say, it's going to be hard to sign out of Slack for the last time. I'm going to make IP wipe my laptop instead. Because I don't want to do it. I'm just going to make Noah, dive in and just say, kill it, Ted.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to leave those. I know technically those messages disappear, but they're not really completely gone. I'm going to leave them. Yep. I'm going to leave them up and favorited because I don't think I'll be able to bear just getting rid of them completely. But don't tell anybody else this, Tom, but you have been by far my favorite person to work with.
Same, friend. And thank you.
Damn it, I made it to the end.
Yep. Yeah, it came right for me at the end there, friend. And that's hard. This is a special place. This is a special place. Yeah. And a lot of organizations don't have anything like this. And I think that, for the folks who I get to see here every Friday, and we'll get to see in the future here again Fridays, mm-hmm. This is a special place because of you. So I say as much thank you right back for making this a great home for people to interact with each other, to talk about the product, to talk about what we're building and why. And so for everybody who's watching this, both now and later, thank you. Because every one of you makes this place better, makes Jump Cloud better. And that means a lot. So.
This is really, seriously, when I say this is my favorite time of the week, it really is. And it is because of what y'all do in the chat and how you jump right in and interact and you have fun in the comments and you bring your snark. And that's why I love it. And I make sure that we come back every week, and I do my best to do this every week and not cancel. I'll make something up if I have to make sure that we're on air. So we do it so we're consistent, so that you don't have to worry about are we or aren't we. And this is what makes me show up every week. And when I was saying that this was going to be Tom's last official appearance on the IT Hour, I expect that, we will ask him nicely. I was going to say twist his arm, but I don't think we'll really have to twist his arm too much to have him come back at some point in the future once he's settled into whatever it is he's going to be doing. And, we'll get the band back together and everything when he's ready, and talk about there's all kinds of IT stuff to still talk about. And he can, when he's a customer again, then we'll talk about things from that perspective. And we'll go from there. But
yep. And as Jesse points out, you can still find me on the Mac Admin Slack. So I was going to say, Apple folks, you know where to find me. I'm not dead. I'm just missing. And but I am going to take December off and let my brain relax a little bit before I dive in the new year. So I, want to say a huge thanks to all of the people I've worked with here at Jump Cloud. And of course, to Greg Keller and Raj for their leadership, for saying, you should come here, damn it, come here. And it has been the opportunity of a lifetime, and the thrill and the joy and the pleasure of working with this group of humans is unmatched. And I have never worked any place like this. I don't think I ever will again, unless I come back. So we'll see. But as part of any exit interview, they were like, "Oh, would you ever come back in the future?" Always. This door is open. The humans that work here, the incredible customers that we have, the way that this place works, it's great. So, I think that is, this is special. I say that a lot, but it's different. So we got to point it out.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is the people that make it, and wouldn't have it any other way. And we are right at time. So thank you, friend. We love you. And I guess now I will always have that extra 2 days on you.
You always will, friend. You always
Yep.
will.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. We will see you again next week. And the week after that, we will be off because of the US Thanksgiving holiday. So take care, and we'll see you again next time. Bye all.